Welcome and thank you for joining us today. So tell us a little bit about yourself, name, employment, what led you to become a speech and language pathologist and a sensory barber.
Yeah, so hey everyone, my name is Kevin Simmons. I'm a pediatric speech therapist located in Dawsonville, Georgia. And some background history is I was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, and grew up always wanting to work with kids, wanting to just help people. I just didn't know in what capacity that would be. Tebow. Good. Tebow. 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 Good. I call myself the singing SLP, using music integration for adults and for kids, because it has so many beneficial markers from, recall strategies, from intonation and prosody to fluency. It impacts so much, and that's why I love music. Really started to get into the barbership because I had been cutting hair my whole life, from a young age, watching YouTube videos and cutting my cousin's hair and doing self cuts. And it was super rewarding because I knew what I wanted. So I remember one session, I was talking to a parent, and she was just telling me how difficult it was to get her son's hair cut. And I asked her, if she's gone to the barber, if she's, taken breaks and all these strategies. And she said she's tried everything, and it just wasn't working out. So I told her, well, I cut, my own hair. I figured, let's just try it out. Let's see if he'll do well with me. And she told me that it had gone from like a 6 hour long, family session where they're preparing everyone for the haircut. There's crying, there's tears from everyone, to that one session with me where it was maybe 40 minutes. We took breaks, and it was just super rewarding because I saw how I was able to collaborate with some occupational therapists and learn about sensory input and what our kids need. We all have sensory needs and input, and just to be able to provide that and take the breaks, show the clippers to the child. And after that one scenario, it kind of blossomed from there. And word got out, and I started collaborating with families around the area, and that's how I became the singing slash sensory barber.
Explain the importance of partnering with families and schools.
I see how collaborating with them has really been beneficial for our kids' development. It's best where, I'm talking with the teacher and emailing, calling about goals that we can work on together. So that way, when the child goes into the classroom, that same pragmatic goal where they're doing so well, at home and in the clinic, outpatient setting, they're able to work on that goal at school, which, as you know, I mean, our kids spend most of the time at school. So we want to make sure that everything that we're doing lines up with their development. And another piece to that is, if I'm working on a um, articulation goal and we're working on the R sound, and there's no communication about the R sound at school, then their speech intelligibility decreases. The child may not raise their hand because they feel embarrassed. So just that small thing is so important to collaborate with, because we're able to both work on the R sound with the school SLP, with the clinic SLP, with the family, so that way we can build that confidence. And like can reiterate that development is huge, just to have all pieces working together.
And how would you say families are impacted by your work?
I feel like a lot of families have been impacted by just a unique approach to therapy where it's not just sitting down. We're moving, we're dancing, we're seeing how our, mouth moves, making silly motions. So that's been really cool to see. Like the Frozen song, Let It Go, we can those kids can take that lyric, let it go, and then we compare it with let's go home, let's go to school. So it's been super rewarding to see that and receiving, responses from parents where they have said and sent me pictures where their child is smiling ear to ear. Even if it is a tough process, there's tears, but it's been super cool to see from one haircut now to like the fifth or sixth haircut, this child is greeting me, and they all kids and ourselves, we're routine based. So just to establish that routine has been really impactful. So I'm excited and eager to, provide these strategies for families that need it.
What does inclusion mean to you?
Inclusion involves bringing in all people, all races, all backgrounds, and not only accepting, but acknowledging our differences and being one and just sharing that love of one another, no matter the setting. It can be at school, it can be at the clinic, but just understanding that. And then another piece of that puzzle, I think, is just educating us as adults. We have a great privilege to show and represent ourselves to our kids on how inclusivity can be one big puzzle that is meshed together by modeling that and showing our kids that we have black and brown friends, we have male and female like friends, and just showing them that it's an inclusive part no matter the setting.
And what are your hopes for Inclusive Early Learning Week?
My hopes are to provide families with resources about inclusive approaches when it comes to speech therapy, um, with resources that show that their child doesn't have to be denied access to communication. And I think that's so important because you think about verbal output and just talking. A lot of our kids aren't able to talk. So what modes of communication can we provide them, whether that be through sign or AAC? So that inclusive approach, I hope, can be conveyed this week. And then also when it comes to haircuts, uh, I've spoke with a number of families that even before the actual haircut, they've told me, fair warning, I just don't have, the confidence. If it doesn't get done, that's okay. Um, but you think about the impact of that statement and how a basic, daily living assignment, we wash our hands, we wash our bodies, we get haircuts. I mean, that's easy for us, but for so many kids and so many, even teenagers, adults, like it's a struggle and it's hard. So I hope to provide these resources so that families understand that it is possible, and um, there's always hope.
And our
Yeah.
last question, how can people find you on social media and or other contact information that you would like to share?
You can find me at singingslp.com. That's my main website where you can learn about my story, and ultimately book haircuts. All my socials are through the tag Singing SLP. And you can find language strategies, music integration, sensory haircut videos.